Hi, fifth graders. It's Mrs. Domek. I hope you had a good evening and you're ready to do another assignment today. All right, today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we're on day 2 of your independent study packet. And let's take a look at day 2. We're going to be learning about plays and answering what is a drama worksheet. Then you can do some writing about your own drama or your own play. We're going to do some grammar practice, and then on a separate video I'll do the math. All right, so just go on down to what is drama. So a drama is also known as a play. This type of text is different from prose and poetry. Okay, so prose is like chapter books. Okay, it's just sentences following sentences and forming into paragraphs and telling a story that way. Poetry is lines that are then put in stanzas, and sometimes they rhyme, and so that's also different. So having a chapter book or a poem is different than drama. A drama tells a story and is divided into parts called scenes, written so that it can be performed as a play. It includes story elements of fiction like setting, character, plot, and it has a cast of characters that tells who will be in the play, and there's a description of the setting and what the stage should look like. And then there's stage directions, which tell the actors what to do, how to speak, and where to go on stage. And then characters' dialogue tells the actors what to say. So a playwright is someone who writes a drama or play. Instead of being called an author, they're called a playwright. All right, so let's take a look at our directions. It says, read the excerpt below and answer the questions that follow. All right, so this is a drama or play called What Was That? And here's your list of characters: Tatiana, Elias, Miguel, and Diana. All right, so there's your cast of characters right there. And then it says that it is divided up into, scenes. Tells a story and is divided into parts called scenes. So on this particular one, we just have scene 1. Okay, then this sets the background. It's kind of like tells you what's going on. Okay, so the narrator would be saying this line: on a hot afternoon in July, the smoke from an explosion rises into the sky. The kids stand in the middle of their street staring. The kids are dirty, wearing clothes with holes in them. They all have backpacks on. All right, so that kind of sets the description of the setting and what the stage should look like. So you want to try and picture in your mind that it's a hot afternoon in July and there's smoke from an explosion that's in the sky. And the kids, I'm assuming they mean these cast of character kids, stand in the middle of their street staring up at the smoke. They are dirty, wearing clothes with holes in them, and they all have backpacks on. All right, so Elias says, and here's stage directions. So the director would tell them to do this while he's saying this. He's pointing to the sky and says, guys, do you see that? And then another character says this next line. Miguel says, oh, I definitely see that, but can you smell it? Okay, and then we move to Diana, and here's her directions. Plugging her nose, she says, oh, I definitely smell that. That's the worst odor I've ever smelled. What happened? Where is that coming from? And then Tatiana says, I don't know, but I think we had better get out of here. This doesn't seem like the best place for 4 kids to be hanging out. And then here's some more background. The kids turn, or stage directions, the kids turn and start walking quickly down the street, periodically looking back at the smoke in the sky. So if this were a play that you were watching, you would probably see kids, the set would look like a street, and then they would have props or something to show the smoke in the sky. All right, so let's move on and take a look at this. And it says, how does a drama get its ideas across differently than prose, like a novel or poetry? All right, guys, let's take a look at these questions. Number 1 says, how does a drama get its ideas across differently than prose, like a novel or poetry? Okay, so we talked about what prose is. Prose is sentences that are formed into paragraphs. Okay, so a chapter book is a kind of prose writing. So an author has written down the story for someone to read. Okay, that's what prose is. Poetry is formed by lines and stanzas. Often, but not always, there is rhyming and repeating of words and sentences. Okay, so these are very different than drama. Drama gets its ideas across in the form of a play, where there are characters that take the different speaking parts. They perform the play on a stage and have costumes, props, and sets that look like the setting that they are in. Okay, so that is how a drama is different than prose, novel, or poetry. Prose, which is a novel or poetry. All right, so I'll give you a minute to write that out in your own words, and what I really want you to know, to get from this, is that you understand the difference between the word prose, and you'll hear that sometimes in middle school and high school. I mean, it's a word that you'll hear in school, so I want you to know what it is. Okay, so prose is like a chapter book. And poetry, you've seen poetry, you've read it a lot this year in 5th grade, where there's lines and stanzas. That's poetry. And a lot of times the words at the end rhyme. Sometimes they repeat lines, okay? But drama is a play where characters go back and forth saying the different parts, and they perform it, often in costumes with props. All right. So now let's look at number 2. It says, how is drama different from other types of literature? Well, there's a lot of different types of literature, nonfiction, fiction, biographies, autobiographies, just lots of different literature. And they're all pretty typical in that they're written by an author or authors and then read by people, okay? But drama is different from all of that in that drama is performed by people, okay? And just like what we just talked about, okay? All right, so I'm going to move this page up so we can look at the next page. Wait, where did it go? Wait a minute. Okay, and this last question, number 3, I'm going to let you do, but it's very easy that you can see. What do you notice about the formatting that makes a drama something that can be performed? Formatting means just the way it looks. So when you look at a play or a drama, how can you tell from the way this is formatted that different people are going to say the different lines and that it can be performed in front of other people. Okay? So I want you to think about that. I know you know it because we've talked about it. And then I'm going to go on to the next page. Okay, guys, next is your crossword puzzle. And what I've done to help you out is I have made a word bank. So on the word bank, across at the top, and all the words that will go into the across ones will be from that list. And then I made a down list, and all the words that would go into this list down will be under the down list. So hopefully that will help you. I will have to attach that somehow on I'll figure it out, but I will send you a word list or word bank that goes with this crossword puzzle. Alrighty, that's it for reading today, and I'll put the math assignment on a separate video. All right, have a good day.